Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's King Shazam, and today we're going to be looking at all of the biographies so far and my thoughts on each character. And the reason it's obviously so far is because there's that whole bottom row there where we don't know who the characters are yet. I believe the characters at the bottom will probably be Joker because he's like the last one from the main roster to get revealed. Darkseid will probably be one, and then I think the rest is DLC. So I'm gonna do the biographies so far, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through each character, and I'm gonna read their biography, maybe read their quote, and give you my thoughts on the character if they look cool, if I liked them in the last game, if they were in the last game, and if I feel like they're gonna be a great character in the game. So without further ado, let's get into this. And up first we have the Dark Knight himself, Batman, and of course you cannot have the Injustice game without Batman. And his quote says there are lines we don't cross, which I think that is referring to, of course, Superman killing innocent people because he's creating a dictatorship. And his quote says, his biography, even after he's been exposed to the world as Batman, Bruce Wayne keeps his vow to avenge his parents' death by fighting for justice. He refuses to execute his enemies, believing that once he crosses that line, he's no better than the cowards he battles. So clearly in that biography, it's talking about, he wants to fight justice, and that's why he's going against Superman, because he doesn't believe what Superman is doing is right. And his rule, he doesn't kill. And the only person who doesn't get that rule is Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder's the only one who hasn't gotten that rule right. But of course, in every other form, we've gotten that right. Everybody knows that rule except Zack Snyder. Now, of course, overall, I think Batman's going to be badass because, of course, Batman's always badass. I love that he is voiced by Kevin Conroy, who I believe is the voice of Batman, and some might say he is the definitive Batman. So I cannot wait to see what Batman does. Now, in the first game, I feel like he was kind of slow in fighting, and his combos were hard to do. So I'm hoping he's a little faster at fighting in this game. But I don't know what to expect. I think he's going to be badass, and I can't wait to see what's in store for Batman. So overall, I'm loving what I'm seeing from Batman so far. Now we have the leader of the insurgency, and that is, of course, Superman. And his quote says, "The world's changed since Metropolis," which that is referring to the Joker tricking Superman into destroying Metropolis, and that's why he got mad, because he ended up killing Lois, and he blames Joker for that. And then, the whole story goes on from there. And in his biography says, after the fall of the regime, Superman now remains a permanent resident of a prison built to contain and suppress the Man of Steel. Still grieving the loss of Lois and their unborn son, Superman maintains that peace can only be achieved through subjugation. But as a new threat looms, can old enemies forge new alliances? And of course that new threat is Brainiac. Now, one thing I will say as of now is I do not really like the way Superman looks. I think he kind of looks weird. That's just me. I don't know if any of you feel the same way. But I don't really expect too much from him. I feel like he's going to be the same like he was as in the first game. I don't think there's going to be that many changes. I'm very curious what all of his different outfits can be. But yeah, my only nitpick is that I don't really like the way he looks. But other than that, I think he'll be fine. Nothing's really going to change. Of course, he's locked away in the Lex Luthor prison. He's going to break out somehow. We don't know how, whether that'll be members of the insurgency break him out or he just breaks out on his own. Who knows, but overall, don't really think there's going to be much changes to Superman. He's just going to be plain old Superman, same as the first game. Now, we have the last member of the Trinity, which, will they become the Trinity in Injustice 2? They might, because of Brainiac. And of course that is Wonder Woman, the Amazon herself, and her quote says, "Did I mention I'm an Amazon?" Which I believe she says that to Gorilla Grodd. And of course, being an Amazon, she's strong, so that's why she brings that up. And her biography says, an exiled sister of Themyscira, Wonder Woman remains in hiding after the fall of the regime. Still an ardent believer of Superman and his rule, Wonder Woman awaits her opportunity to strike back against Batman and free Superman from his imprisonment. So like I said earlier, we know Superman's going to break out from the prison, and maybe Wonder Woman is the reason he gets out. Who knows? I don't really understand why Wonder Woman would be on Superman's side. I don't know. I guess she still believes in his morals or whatever, but, they're still going to be fighting with Batman and stuff. I really hope to see them come together as the Trinity when Brainiac comes to Earth, because there was a reference to the Justice League in the Shattered Alliance's Part 4 trailer, so maybe they'll form the Justice League again. But so with Wonder Woman, I think she looks really good, and her fighting style, I'm assuming there's not going to be any huge changes with her. Probably the same as the first game. Overall, I think Wonder Woman's going to be fine. I don't have any negatives about her. Next up, we have one of the new characters in Injustice 2, and that is Supergirl. And her biography says, as a child, Kara Zor-El witnessed the devastation of Krypton before she was sent to Earth on a mission to protect her infant cousin Kal-El. Arriving on Earth decades too late, she discovered that grown-up Kal has been imprisoned. Still determined to protect her family and its legacy, Kara will fight her cousin's enemies as Supergirl. So it's looking like she's going to try to be on Superman's side, but there are times in some of the trailers where, there's some beef between them. So I'm curious if Supergirl will go against Superman. I would think so, but I don't know. And, Superman wants her to believe in what he's doing, but I don't think Supergirl wants to follow him. And not really negatives about Supergirl. I think she's cool. I think, she's just going to fight like Superman. No biggie there, but, an interesting character. I don't really know that much about Supergirl, so, I know there's probably a lot of people that love that she's in the game, but, I'm all for new characters. I think she looks great. I think she'll be fine, and I'm very curious what the relationship will be between Supergirl and Superman. Next up, we have the man from Atlantis himself, Aquaman, and now his biography says that Atlantean ruler has isolated his kingdom from the surface world's affairs after a punishing defeat during the fall of Superman's regime. However, his determination to keep Atlantis' independence may cost him. As new threats rise, can Aquaman swallow his pride to protect his people? And of course, once again, that new threat is Brainiac, and it's looking like Aquaman kind of wants to stay out of everything that's going on the surface between, Batman and Superman, everybody like that. But it sounds like once Brainiac shows up, then he will come up, because he's just focusing on his people in Atlantis. Now, I wish he kind of looked like Jason Momoa's Aquaman. I don't know if any of you are the same way. I don't really like the blonde hair and that kind of look. It doesn't really make him look badass, because people joke about him, and it's like kind of when he has the blonde hair, yeah, he's kind of funny, but I don't know. I think fighting, he looks really cool. I think he does have one of the best super moves. I really like his because it just starts out with the water coming, and then he puts the person above the water and he just hits him with his trident, and then that huge fish, whatever the heck that is, takes you down. I think he has one of the best super moves, though. I'm very curious with Aquaman to see what he brings to Injustice 2. Next, we have the Red Lantern Atrocitus, and his biography says, Red Lantern Atrocitus seeks revenge against all members of the Sinestro Corps for their murderous oppression of his home world. His hate blazes a path across the galaxy, leading him to Earth. Sensing an opportunity on the post-regime planet, Atrocitus focuses on bolstering the Red Lantern's ranks by stoking the flames of rage. So he's coming to Earth after the whole fight between the regime and the insurgency and all of that, and thinking that Earth is a weak target now, so he comes to Earth trying to take over. I'm assuming. I don't know for sure. Now, I feel like Atrocitus was kind of a weird choice. He's a wild card. I know I heard that, I don't know if it was Ed Boon or one of the people working on Injustice 2, they said that they are going to have a lot of obscure characters, which, yeah, it's looking like that. I don't really care for Atrocitus from what I'm seeing. I don't know. I just feel like he's just a big Hulk or something. I don't really know what to expect from him. I don't really expect much. I don't care for him. I mean, I know there's probably going to be some people that like Atrocitus, but for me, I don't really care for him. It's just another Lantern. I'm not a huge Lantern fan, so I don't really care about any of those characters, even Green Lantern, so I don't know. I don't really expect much from him. I don't think he's going to be much of a character. I don't feel like I'm going to remember him. So overall, I mean, he definitely looks cool, but, I don't really expect much from Atrocitus, so I don't know. He might surprise me. Now we have the leader of the Society, which is the new faction in Injustice 2, and that is Gorilla Grodd, and his quote, of course, says, "Given to Grodd," and his biography says, telepathic brute Gorilla Grodd has long sought to prove his peerless genius by subjugating mankind. He's gone so far as to form an anti-Justice League known as the Society, to once and for all smash their opposition. Using his intellect and telepathy, Grodd enlists others in his mission to conquer the planet and fill void of power left by Superman's regime. Now, this is a new character that I'm actually kind of looking forward to. Once again, I don't really know much about Grodd. I've probably seen him a couple times in like the Justice League cartoon. Overall, I think he does look really cool. I think he's going to bring a lot to the table, and of course, he's the leader of the Society, which I'm really looking forward to. I think the Society looks badass. It's all made up of supervillains, and we know from the Shattered Alliance's Part 4 trailer that Batman has put a mole into the Society, which, I wonder who that is. I'm going to say it's Catwoman, unless they throw us a curveball and have it be Cheetah, but I highly doubt it's Cheetah. So I guarantee you the mole is Catwoman, because, duh, that seems the most plausible. But I'm really looking forward to the Society. I like all of the members on that faction, or in that faction. And overall, I think Grodd looks really cool. I love how his super move, he's just beating the crap out of you. So of course, I cannot wait to see what Gorilla Grodd brings to the table in Injustice 2. And next up, this is one of the two characters I'm looking forward to the most. I know it kind of seems like a weird character to look forward to, but I don't know. I'm really looking forward to this guy, and that is of course Floyd Lawton, aka Deadshot, and most people probably only know him now because of the movie Suicide Squad. And his quote says, "Good thing we're professionals." He says that to Batman in one of their intros, I think, which of course, duh, they're both professionals at what they do. And everybody knows, or most people know, of course, is that Deadshot is the man who never misses. Now, his biography says Floyd Lawton is the human arsenal. His aim lethal from any range. Having escaped imprisonment during the regime, he now enters the fray as an expert assassin for hire, forced to contend with the fact that Grodd has come into possession of the detonator to the personal explosive device implanted in his head. So, speaking of Suicide Squad, I feel like that is the only reason he's joining the Society, because we know there's going to be references to the Suicide Squad in Injustice 2. Why? Because there's a gameplay clip of Deadshot saying that, try joining the Suicide Squad, and obviously in his biography, we learn that he has the bomb in his neck, which that's what the Suicide Squad has, and Grodd has control, well, not control, but he has the detonator, and, he can blow up his head at any time. So I feel like that's the only reason Deadshot is in the Society, is because, he really doesn't have a choice. It's basically like he's joining another Suicide Squad. That's basically what it is. But I'm really looking forward to Deadshot. I don't know why. I just love the way he looks. I think he's cool. I think basically he's going to be taking the place of Deathstroke, because I don't think Deathstroke's going to be in Injustice 2, which is kind of sad, but he's basically the same character. I'm very curious what all of his different outfits are going to be. So obviously in this picture, it's got him with the red mask with the little white, but then there's the other outfit, like from the movie Suicide Squad, where it's all white. So overall, I'm really looking forward to Deadshot. I cannot wait to see what he does, how he plays, how he fights. And now, maybe the only negative thing I have about Deadshot is maybe his voice. I don't know, I just don't really like how it seems like it's kind of like a voice changer. I wish it was kind of just like a normal voice. And I think they did change the voice actor. So, I don't know. But I am really looking forward to Deadshot. And he might be my main character. Or there's another character that I'm really looking forward to, which comes later, that I might play as first. But he's definitely one of the two characters I'm looking forward to the most.